Today we're making sweet and sour chicken and we're using chicken thigh. First we're going to take the fat from the chicken and add it to a pot so we can render the fat to get some oil. To the chicken thigh, I'm going to add some all-purpose seasoning and I'm also going to add just a little garlic powder seasoning. This is optional because the all-purpose season contains everything and we don't want the meat to have too much of the seasoning. And then we're just gonna combine that together. You can use salt and pepper only for this one, and then we're gonna combine the seasoning together properly because we're going to add some cornstarch to it, and then everything is gonna freeze. So then I'm going to add about 2 spoonful of cornstarch and we're gonna combine that. So we're gonna make sure that all the pieces are coated. So that's the amount you use or you need to coat all the pieces of chicken. And once all of them is coated, then we're going to set it aside, and you can also set it in the fridge. That's what I did. And then we're gonna remove the chicken fat from the oil because we are going to use this oil to fry the chicken pieces. And guys, you can add the salt and the fat and eat it nice. So here I am cutting up the vegetables that I'm going to use. So I'm using bell peppers. I have the red and green one. You can also use yellow and orange. Depends on how you want your dish to look. But the bell pepper is going to give it that vibrant, fresh appearance. So I'm using red and also green bell pepper. And you want to try and get them on the same size as possible. So you want them about, I think it's maybe like an half an inch. I did somewhere there. So you just want to try and get them on the same size to add to the pot. So after the bell peppers, I'm gonna dice some onions, and I'm using about half of the onion. It's a medium-sized onion, so I'm gonna dice that, and then I'm going to chop it and also set this aside until it's time to use. And now we're gonna work on our scallion. We're gonna finely chop the scallion, and the scallion we're gonna use it just for garnishing. So at the end of the dish, that's when I'm going to use the scallion to garnish the top of the dish. And guys, if you have sesame seed, that would be great also. But if you don't have it, it's not necessary. I already had some in my cupboard, so I just use it, but it's not a must. It doesn't change the taste or anything to the dish. So don't worry about that if you don't have it. And I don't think you should go out and buy it either because we rarely use this. Well, I'll take that back. You should know if you want to go out and buy it. But for me, I rarely use it, so I don't think it's necessary. Then we're gonna use a measuring cup and I'm gonna add some cold water. And you can make as much sauce as you want or as little. This is some soy sauce. I'm gonna go in and add a little more of the soy sauce. Then I'm going to go in with some vinegar. Um, that's gonna give it that tangy taste. Then I add some ketchup for the sweet, even though I think ketchup is kind of tangy. So use as much ketchup as you like. And then I'm gonna add some more cornstarch just to thicken the gravy. So once it hits the heat, it's gonna get a little thick. And guys, there was something that I forgot. So after I finished stirring, I then went ahead and add some brown sugar. After you add your sugar, guys, I would advise you to taste the sauce and ensure that it's to your liking before you move on. So you'll know because you'll taste it. If it needs a little more sugar, add it. If it needs ketchup, add it. So I went ahead and I add some chili sweet sauce because I had this in my refrigerator, so I add a little. I then combine. I did taste it and I did like it, so that's when I set that aside. To our hot pan, I'm going to add the chicken fat oil to that pan. So I had some more chicken fat oil and I did add some more. And then I'm going to go in and add the pieces of chicken. I'm going to add as much as I can to the pot. Once the chicken starts changing color, I'm going to turn them. We want them crispy but not burn. And you can turn them as much as you want until you get the desired texture you want. And one more thing, if you're not gonna eat this chicken right away after you cook it, you're gonna double fry it. So because once the sauce hit it, it's going to start to get a little soggy. So if it's something that you're not going to eat immediately after cooking, double fry. So double fry means you fry one time, take it out, let it rest, and then you fry it again. So that would be perfect if you're gonna let it sit. But if you're gonna eat it one time after cooking, then one time is just fine. After you reach a color that you like, you remove them. So this was crispy. So yeah, I then remove them from the pot. We set them aside. Now I'm gonna go in with my second batch. So I just place them in and do the exact same thing that I did with the first batch. Change them when they start turning color, and if the color, if it's not crisp enough, then I change turn them again. I did fry them only once because listen, immediately after I finish I start eating, so I fried one time. So this is my last batch. So now I'm going to remove the excess oil and add my onion and bell peppers to the pan. And I'm going to saute this for a few seconds, just until the onion gets translucent. I'm going to add the pineapple also to that mixture, stir. And guys, if you have pineapple juice, you can use pineapple orange juice instead of water for the mixture. I didn't have any pineapple juice, so I did use water, but you can use that instead of water. Once the vegetables get translucent, I'm gonna pour the sauce in. Alright, when you pour the sauce in, you're gonna start. And once it starts to thicken, I don't like a lot of sauce on anything at all. So if you realize I went in and I did half. So once the sauce starts thickening, I'm gonna just spin this in the sauce, add whatever else I need to add. And remember guys, we have to taste the sauce, you have to taste the chicken before you combine them together, because you have to catch that flavor, because once you toss them in that pan 2 times, then it's done. You gotta remember that, because once the sauce eat the chicken, it will get soggy if it sits for too long. So after I toss um, them to the pan, I just ensure that all the pieces of chicken were coated properly. It's just me showing the camera. Isn't that delicious? It is. So I did went ahead add the sesame seeds and the scallion, and this is the end result. Guys, remember to subscribe, like, and comment. If there's any changes that need to be made, sound it off in the comment box. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.